Greetings, astronauts, and welcome back to Astro Candy. Hi, I'm Raven, your host, and this episode, you are going to learn the 3 reasons why your energy is depleted and how to replenish it. Chances are, if you clicked on this episode, you are feeling drained. You're feeling worn out. You're feeling tired, and you don't really know why. Well, to understand why, you have to find the source. So we're going to get to the source of what is depleting your energy. We'll talk about how to prevent it, how to protect it, and then how to replenish it. Now, I am a reflector in human design. If you don't know, human design is a holistic self-knowledge system that combines astrology, the I Ching, Kabbalah, and Vedic philosophy, and really centers around the division of personalities into 4 energy types. The 4 energy types being manifestors, generators, manifesting generators, projectors, and reflectors. Now, reflectors are very rare. They make up less than 1% of the population, and that's because all of my energy centers are open, whereas the other human design types, they have some that are closed or really self-generated. All mine are open, which means that I can take on and take in energy from other people, places, things outside of myself, sample it, like get a little taste, and then reflect it back. Now, I would love to talk more about human design in another episode, so if you want to hear that, let me know. DM me at Astro Candy Podcast. But from an energetic standpoint, because of this, I have really learned to protect my energy centers, especially when I don't want to sample or experience certain people, places, or things. And in the pursuit of this, I've learned 3 reasons why energy can be depleted. And these are so subtle that you might not even realize that it's happening. So I want to share them with you so you can also be aware of how your energy is being affected. You may not be a reflector, but it will eventually take its toll on you if these go on for too long. And they will manifest physically as unease, disease, stress, anxiety, discontent, depression. So here are the 3 reasons your energy is being depleted, how to stop it, how to prevent it, and how to replenish it. The first reason is that you have an energy clog. Energy clogs are ways that you are blocking energy from flowing to you that stem from the actions that you take based on limiting beliefs. I'm going to say that one more time. Energy clogs are ways that you're blocking energy from flowing to you. And the ways that you're blocking energy from flowing to you is because you're doing things, you're taking action based on limiting beliefs. And it's stopping energy from coming to you, things from coming to you, things from manifesting in your life. Let's take an example with dating. Say you are trying to call in, attract, manifest a partner. And so you're on the apps, you're swiping left and right, and you come across this Hinge profile of a guy who actually ticks most of the boxes on your list. He is seemingly well-rounded. He's got a great family, it looks like, a brother and a sister. He's got a little puppy and a dog, so he must be family-oriented. He's got a lot of friends. He likes to hike. Oh my God, you love to hike. He's tall, dark, and handsome. He went to a great school, and the answers to his prompts are so funny. Like, he actually has a sense of humor. He seems really smart. He seems kind just based on some of the answers to his prompts. Like, you're really into this guy based on what you're seeing. However, you decide to swipe left. And you decide to swipe left because he's an athlete and because you have this limiting belief that athletes are players, quote unquote, who are more likely to cheat. So that's why you decided to pass up the opportunity to get to know this guy. Another example. You're in the market for a new job and you find the perfect one that would double your income. It's got great benefits, it's remote, and you have summer Fridays. So that means you get a half day on Fridays during the summer. But you turn it down. You turn it down because this job wanted you to sign a contract. And you have a limiting belief that signing a contract would mean giving up your freedom. And you refuse to do that. You don't want to be restrained. So you just pass on the job. Both of these are examples of how you are clogging opportunities, energy from flowing to you because of your limiting beliefs. You passed up on a great opportunity to get to know a guy who you share a lot of interests with and were interested in. And you passed up doubling your income because of a limiting belief that you would lose your freedom. It's really important to note that energy clogs come from us. Like, we are the source of stopping energy flow. And when this happens, it's really crucial to break through these limiting beliefs that are holding you back and reprogramming new ones. I have several episodes about this. I think season 2 was Skinny Dip in Your Subconscious. Just this past month ago, Train Your Brain, Change Your Reality, which I'll link both in the show notes, but several ways that you can break through your limiting beliefs: EFT or emotional freedom technique tapping, hypnosis, journaling, and creating conscious habits. The second reason you're feeling drained and like your energy is being depleted is because you have an energy leak. Energy leaks are things that take little bits of your energy because of a lack of sealant or boundaries. A few examples. Work. You've got a client who takes advantage of your time, but that's because you haven't established or enforced meeting practices like your availability. Oh, it's Tuesdays and Thursdays, or time frames, Tuesdays and Thursdays between 10 and 2. And in each meeting is not more than an hour, things like that. So your lack of boundary with your time is a lack of a sealant, and therefore you've got an energy leak there. Take a friend who overstays their welcome when you invite them over. But that's because you haven't asserted that you've got a big day in the morning and you can't stay up too late, or that you've already bought groceries for the week, so no, you don't want to order pizza. Again, these are boundaries that you have yet to set, and because you haven't set them, your energy is leaking where the boundary should be. In a relationship, maybe you've got a partner who has friends over while you're trying to sleep. But that's because you haven't talked about how you've got a big meeting on Monday mornings. So Sunday nights aren't really good hangout nights for you. So can they actually come over like Saturday night or just another night of the week? Again, it's a lack of a boundary, a lack of a sealant. It's really important that we take accountability for our lack of boundaries and not placing outright blame on the other person. That's the easy way out. Like being like, oh, I've got this terrible client and they're the worst. Are they the worst, or do you just not have boundaries regarding your time? Oh my God, I've got this friend who always shows up late and she's the absolute worst. Is she the worst, or have you not asserted that the next time she's late, you won't be waiting for her and so you'll just leave and you won't be hanging out? Oh my God, my partner is just so inconsiderate. Are they inconsiderate, or have you just not voiced to them that you've got a really big morning on Mondays and so you're going to need your beauty rest? It's so much easier to point the finger at other people than it is at ourselves. But in this case, you have to own your lack of boundaries and then implement them. Now, if someone is overstepping the boundaries you've set, that is a different conversation. That's a different podcast episode. But usually when you do put boundaries in place, the energy leaks take care of themselves. When I first moved to California, I said yes to everything. And not only did that affect my energy, but it affected my spending. Like, I was spending way too much energy, but also money, saying yes to every happy hour, every movie night, every dinner party. So I had to set a boundary with myself. Sometimes that happens where you have to say, self, we're not doing outings during the week anymore, because I noticed like going out on the week would affect my next day. And then I even put a boundary with the weekend, like, okay, well, if I go out on the weekend, then I can't spend more than X amount of dollars. So sometimes the call is coming from inside the house. Regardless, energy leaks are relatively easy to repair. You just have to put on some sealant or caulking, AKA you gotta lay some boundaries. The third and final reason your energy is being depleted is because you've got an energy drain that needs to be plugged. Energy drains are things that take a lot of your energy because of a lack of a plug. I've got 3 examples here. One of them is personal. When I moved to LA back in September, I moved into an apartment that happens to be incredibly noisy. Despite trying to find an apartment that was quiet, and I thought I had, this apartment is so noisy. I mean, the walls are paper thin, so I can always hear what my neighbor's doing. And then there's like a slew of structural issues. So there's been constant construction. So between like hearing my neighbor's vacuum or dryer banging or a dog barking or construction happening, just like constant nails, hammers, saws. It's been a lot of noise. And this is a problem for me specifically because I do a lot of audio recording. I'm a voice actor and I host this podcast, so I need it to be quiet. As you can imagine, this has taken a toll on my energy. Even though it's not at the forefront some days, like even though like a dog isn't actively barking or my neighbor isn't running her RoboVac right now, or there's not a contractor sawing wood or whatever it is that they do that they make so much fucking noise with, it's energetically still running in the background and it's draining my energy whether I feel it that day or not. It's kind of like when you're texting on your phone and you see your battery and it's like at 20%, you're like, what the fuck? Like, why is my battery drained? But then you open your tabs and you see that TikTok's been open this whole time. Like, remember when you woke up this morning and like just scrolled through a few TikTok videos? Oh, you forgot to close it out. And so it's actually been draining your battery in the background this whole time. That's what an energy drain is. It is just constantly sucking your energy in the background. Sometimes it's not even that noticeable until you sit down and you're like, oh my God, I'm fucking drained. Why? Relationship issues. Another example of an energy drain. As an example, let's say you're taking the next step in your relationship. You're moving in together. You're talking about marriage, having a family, but it's bringing to the forefront a lot of discussions that have turned into arguments. You guys are not on the same page about how many kids you want or where you want to settle down. You can't decide how you're going to split rent, especially if your income is different. They make more than you do. So should they pay more than you do? And not only are you fighting, but you're just like constantly bickering about the small stuff. Now, it's like, oh my gosh, they left dishes in the sink or they left clothes on the floor. And all these little things kind of pile up and it's all running in the background. And now you are energetically weighed down by the stress of these relationship problems and where your relationship stands and where it's going to go from here. And again, you might not be actively in an argument with your partner, but the state of the relationship, the situation that you've both found yourselves in is weighing heavily on you. It's causing you stress. It's causing you anxiety. It's causing your energy to drain. And it's a constant running in the background. Work issues. We've all had them, but when it's like this, when you feel like you're at this dead-end job and there's no opportunity for a raise, there's no opportunity for a promotion, your boss drives you fucking nuts, the company culture is terrible, people are quitting left and right, you're getting more and more work piled up on your desk because people are quitting. And even when you leave work, you can still feel the stress of that situation, just this constant looming over you. It's draining you. It's draining your energy. Energy drains are so fucking sneaky, but they're so insidious. Like you might not actively feel an energy drain because it's just like a little bit at a time, but oh my God, it's all the time. It's a little bit at a time, but it's all the time. And in situations like this, there is only one thing that you can do, and that's come to some sort of resolution, which usually looks like plugging the problem. And plugging the problem means putting a stop to it. So in the case of the apartment, my situation, I know I'm going to have to move out because the walls will always be paper thin. I cannot control what my neighbors do. I can't control if they've got a RoboVac or if they are taking calls during the day or they're playing music or their dog is barking. I'll always be able to hear it. And I can't control that this building is falling apart and it's constantly under construction and I can't do anything about it. So I am just going to have to remove myself from the situation in order to stop it. Relationships are a little bit trickier because there's two parties involved. And so I feel like you can either get on the same page or you can break up. Those are your only two options. You either work it out and get on the same page and that relieves that situation, or you just break up. And when it comes to the example with work, it's going to be find a new job. I mean, you can try to ask for a raise or that promotion, but like some things are irreparable. You can't fix the work culture. You can't change your shitty boss. You can't change, like there's so much that's outside of your control. You just have to plug that situation and get a new job. Get one that pays you better. Get one that has a better work culture, better work-life balance. People are happy, people are thriving. Same for me in my apartment situation. I'm going to have to move to a new apartment that supports the goals that I have for myself, that's quieter, more residential, not an active fucking construction zone. I know it doesn't seem like it because, again, these things are running in the background, but they are dire because they are constantly draining you. And there is no way to stop it unless you stop it. Otherwise, they are forever going to run in the background until you stop it. So if you're feeling drained, one of those three is likely the source: an energy clog, an energy leak, or an energy drain. Now, what do we do to replenish our energy? We've already talked about how with clogs, you have to work through your limiting beliefs. And we've talked about with leaks, you need to set boundaries. And we've talked about with drains, you need to plug them. You need to stop it. You need to remove yourself from those situations. So how do we get our energy back? You find an energy wellspring. Energy wellsprings give you energy. It's usually something that you enjoy or something that gives you endorphins. Like exercise is the best example. We don't always enjoy exercising, but you cannot deny the endorphins that you get once you're done exercising. Eating brings endorphins. Having sex brings endorphins. Getting a massage brings endorphins. And all of them lower your stress and anxiety too. And then, of course, there's the things that you enjoy. These things are going to be unique to you. Hobbies and interests that you absolutely love that light you up. Some examples: dancing, writing, drawing, painting, woodwork, scrapbooking, pottery, sewing, coloring, gardening, climbing, kayaking, hiking, yoga, Pilates, pickleball, bowling, horseback riding, kickboxing, golf, video games, listening to music, going to concerts, traveling, spending time with family and friends, reading a book, watching a movie. What fills up your cup? It's up to you to figure that out. But I'll tell you what, when you do, it will make dealing with the energy leaks and drains and clogs that much easier. And it will also make recouping from them easier as well. Our energy is our life force. Our energy is the reason that we get up every day and do the things that we need to do and maintain our friendships, our relationships, do well at work, have hobbies, have interests. So it is really important to protect our energy. What I want you to take away from this episode is not just what's depleting your energy and how to replenish your energy source, but that you can prevent it. You have the power to prevent your energy from draining out of you, because you can clear a clog. You can seal a leak. You can plug drains. You can fill up from a wellspring. You hold the power. Don't go putting it on anybody else. Oh, this person's draining my energy. This person's doing this. This person. No, it's not about them. It's about you. And it's about how you handle all of these things, because it's going to happen. No matter what, you can't stop it from happening. But when it does happen, you can stop it. You have full control. This is your life. Protect your energy, which is your life force. Protect your peace. I hope this episode was helpful for you. I feel like I was ruminating on this one a lot because I had noticed energy leaks in my life and the ways I was clogging my energy. And I really just put plumbing terms on all of it. But I think these are all things that happen, and it's nice to put a name to it. And it's also nice to know how to stop it, how to prevent it, how to navigate it. So I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, I would just love it, adore it if you would rate 5 stars on this podcast and send this episode to a friend. I mean, you telling someone about the show means the world to me. All right, that's all I got. So thank you again for listening to this episode, and I will see you next week. Bye.